I'm Lara Kılıçarslan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. The tech rivalry between the US and China is shaking up the global electronics industry. Both countries are in a race to dominate and leave the other for dust. This competition has really ramped up since 2017, with both sides pulling out all the stops, from tariffs to export controls and even limiting access to key markets. China, in particular, has been pushing hard to build its own reputation and challenge the US's electric vehicle dominance. China's EV industry is on the rise, leaving the US trailing behind when it comes to policies, sales, and even basic infrastructure like charging stations. A perfect example of this is the Chinese electric car maker BYD. The company has announced a new battery technology that could charge an EV in just 5 minutes. That's enough for 400 kilometers of range.
The reason why we didn't get an electric vehicle 2 years ago when we went with a hybrid vehicle was because of range anxiety. The charging infrastructure is not there. For Tesla and for the other EVs, especially the other EVs, this is going to change everything and put everything on its head. This is incredible. I think this is going to be a massive change for people who wanted an EV just like me that couldn't take the jump because of the charging infrastructure and range anxiety. If BYD could come into a market like Canada, as an example, put in the charging infrastructure in place and bring these cars here, I think it would be game-changing. The cars are much cheaper and they're much better than these Tesla counterparts. But because we have 100% tariffs in Canada against BYD, this was with the auto pact with the United States, those vehicles won't see any light here in this market or in the US market.
So how does this new technology stack up against the competition? With speeds of up to 1 megawatt, it's twice as fast as Tesla's superchargers. As expected, this is adding more pressure to the company, which has been struggling lately. But there's more to make BYD extend its lead.
For one, it's price. You can get a vehicle for around $11,000. BYD controls its entire supply chain from battery production to car assembly, which means lower costs and higher profit margins. Their flagship models like the Seal and the Dolphin offer Tesla-level range at a fraction of the price. And with expansion into Europe and Latin America, BYD is not just a Chinese powerhouse, it's a global one.
This is my first time ever sitting in a BYD car, and it's quite nice. I mean, everything about it just feels very premium and luxurious. I love that this entire thing is a screen, and yeah, I'm quite impressed already. Historically, there's been this idea that, made in China means low quality, but right now, this definitely doesn't feel like it's made in China.
Stores selling Russian-made products are popping up all over China. Hardly surprising, but it's the trend that's raising a lot of eyebrows. Well, with their white, blue, and red decorations, they couldn't be more obvious. And that's left people on social media asking, where did these stores come from and why are they suddenly everywhere? As you can see, these shelves are packed with Russian goodies, everything from chocolates and cookies to honey and vodka. In the past few years, thousands of these stores have opened across the country. They're tapping into China's growing interest in Russia and deepening the trade ties between the two nations.
It's not like it's a small place. Like, everything's written in Russian and Chinese. Like, if you look over there for the cashier, it also says Kasa in Cyrillic. And this over here is very famous for not only Russia, but all post-Soviet countries, where you grab a bag, you fill it up with different types of chocolates, and then they weigh it and you check out. They love this stuff over here. That is so cool. I would have never thought I would see a Russian supermarket in China. Are these baguettes that are wrapped up?
The European Union is cracking down on American big tech giants. Regulators have ruled that Apple must allow rival tech devices to operate in their ecosystem, while Alphabet's search engine Google has been smacked with an antitrust violation.
On March 19, 2025, the European Commission formally accused Google of antitrust violations. They allege Google gives preferential treatment to its own services and search results and blocks app developers from steering users to better App Store deals. Apple isn't off the hook either. The EU demands Apple improve interoperability of its iOS devices, allowing better integration with third-party products like headphones and smartwatches. Google plans to comply but warns the Digital Markets Act could hurt European users and businesses. Apple argues the demands will stifle innovation and unfairly force them to share features with competitors.
In In further stress on Google, it has agreed to pay $28 million to settle a claim that it favored Asian and white workers. While the firm has denied the allegations, it said it was working towards a resolution. Back in 2021, a former employee, Anan Cantu, claimed that employees from Hispanic, Latino, Native American, and other groups joined the company at lower salaries and job levels. Despite Google's denials, social media users see the settlement as an admission.
White privilege. That's right. How can you tell if white privilege exists? I don't know. What if someone found out those white privilege and decided to take an organization to court for it? Would you still claim, no, that ain't white privilege? Or would you say, hey man, it turns out even today, white privilege exists? You see, they found out that if you white or Asian, they give you a high starting salary and your career progression was better. They made more opportunities for you. That's what the law case said. Google decided, we'll pay you $28 million to drop all of this. Now, they said we do not admit any wrongdoing, but here's $28 million. Now, we're not saying we did anything wrong and white privilege exists, but here's $28 million. Now, we're not saying that we favor white people over all the others, but here's $28 million. Because we just like giving people $28 million for no reason.
A fairy tale turned into a PR nightmare. Disney's live-action Snow White finally hit cinemas on Friday, but the release is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. The highly anticipated remake, starring Rachel Zegler as Snow White and Gal Gadot as the Evil Queen, was meant to bring a modern touch to a much-loved classic. Instead, it has become one of the most controversial films of 2025. In a rare move, Disney scaled back the film's premieres and scrapped major red carpet events this week, and media outlets were not invited. That often signals trouble behind the scenes. The controversy started long before the release. In 2022, Game of Thrones' Peter Dinklage, an actor with dwarfism, slammed the film's portrayal of the Seven Dwarfs, calling it backward. Disney responded by replacing the dwarfs with computer-generated imagery to avoid reinforcing stereotypes.
They just got rid of the dwarves, okay?
Okay, but what do they call them?
Why
now,
would they
too?
get rid of the dwarves, though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, like we're a disability group. There's power of being on TV. There's power of television. And to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story. Don't change the characters.
Hispanic actress Rachel Zegler's casting as Snow White also fueled debate. And the controversy only deepened when Zegler voiced her opinions about the original film.
Every single time I've seen her open her mouth to talk about playing the Snow White character and reimagining the story, it's to trash the original Snow White and prop up her version as the superior one.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom.
She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
And if you feel the need to change this much about the original source material, why even make it?
The cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated.
I've never once heard her say, oh, it's such an honor to play this character. Oh, I can't wait to do it justice. Oh, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. No, it's only how do we fix this garbage property I've been saddled with.
Adding fuel to the fire, rumors swirled about a rift between Zegler and Gadot due to their opposing political views. Zegler has publicly supported a free Palestine, while Gadot, as an Israeli actress and a former soldier, has been vocal about her support for Israel.
Gal Gadot, playing the evil queen in Snow White, has faced lots of negative attention. During the Israel-Palestine conflict, she posted multiple times on social media supporting Israel. Her statement, "I stand with Israel, you should too," angered many, accusing her of ignoring Palestinian suffering.
Asian elephants hold deep cultural and religious significance in India. A temple in the southern Indian state of Kerala is embracing a different way of honoring tradition, without the use of living and breeding beasts of burden. Instead, life-size robotic elephants are performing rituals. These mechanical elephants, which were first introduced last year, flap their ears, sway their tail, and even spray water through their trunk. Standing at 3 meters tall and weighing 800 kilograms, they're strong enough to carry people on their back. Donated by PETA, the robots are part of a push to reduce animal cruelty in religious ceremonies. Live elephants used in temple rituals often endure physical and psychological stress, loud noises, and flashing lights. These can cause uncontrollable reactions in the animals, often resulting in human casualties. From a mechanical mammal to the real deal. With 9.4 million followers on TikTok, South African game ranger Shandor Larenty is charming hearts and captivating the internet with his compelling wildlife videos. Shandor is a ranger at the Lion and Safari Park in South Africa's Northwest Province. With a so-called best friend called George, who is a lion, and with up-close and intimate videos of a majestic giraffe, as well as chilling with a pack of wild dogs, Shandor is using social media to bring wild animals in their natural habitats to social media users. And by sharing his personal and professional journey, the ranger appears to be resonating with his audience. Now, that's a pretty cool job. We end our show with some of Shandor's reels. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.
I guess it just happens sometimes. You hit a rocky patch. I've been thinking about my 20s. All the sacrifices I've made, the way I've kept chasing my goals and dreams. How I haven't taken time to stop and really take in everything I've achieved.
You can only choose one. Who's it going to be?
It's what you do to me. It's what you do.